Just come down to check the water. Well, come down to check these chatterboxes. Having a little bit of problems with this green team in particular, the red and the orange team, seemingly working perfectly. These ones are a bit hit and miss, so you kind of just can't take it as gospel that you leave it, and don't worry about it. You've still sort of got to pay attention and keep a bit of an eye out. So at the moment, when I came down here, it was still about a good 5 metres away from it, the water. So I thought, right, instead of going home, going and doing something else, I'll just sit here and wait for it and make sure the bloody thing works. This morning, its mate, the very first one, failed to go off, and when I checked it, it had turned itself off. They do hibernate, but there's a difference between hibernation and actually physically not being on. So we shall just wait and see, and I am hoping that at some point shortly, though the water does have to, it's running rather slow. I've only got 6.5 megs going plus the drainage pump. What's this one been going? Don't know, possibly since 8:30, so maybe 6 hours, and we're just getting there. It will run on a fair way, hence why it is this far back up the bottom of the bay. But for the time being, it's just me and the little varroa mates sitting out here. You can probably hear them in the background. As long as they mind their own business and don't bite me, life's good. Yeah, this one in particular had been giving trouble, so I changed the aerial because it was reading virtually 0 on the strength of the aerial signal, or the signal received. So I changed the aerial and that made a big difference, but until it works constantly, you don't quite have the faith in it. So just waiting. That water has to build up a little bit. There he goes. So there it goes. That's the alarm. Since I have to carry 2 fucking phones at the moment because the alarm does not work on Android. So now we will go up the top of the paddock and wait for the timer to shut and the next one to open. So generally it takes 5 minutes once it's the Chatterbox has sent its message to the cloud, the magical cloud. and then it the cloud sends its message back to the timer units. Now I'm using EDT's electronic dual timers. You can set a time for it to open or shut, or you can just rely on the chatterboxes and have them paired to a device, which is what I do have, and you can unpair and repair. Whoop. And there we go, rolling away. So that noise there, the buzzer, is the signal that it has received its command, and in a few minutes it will shut and the next one will open. And life will be good. So at least I know this aerial is still working on this one, because like I said, I had issues with the aerial on this particular chatterbox before, in it, for whatever reason, wouldn't let it send its signals. So even though the chatterbox probes read wet on the chatterbox, it just wasn't sending a signal. Now I don't know whether you can adjust the time differential between 5 minutes to any lower or any longer, but I haven't been able to work that out. Here we go, he's about to start shutting. And away it goes. And at the same time, the next one will be opening. Now I do choose to use snap hooks on the end of the winches and unhook the winch cable from the timer when I'm watering, because I find if I don't, the winch can mess the chatterbox around, or not the chatterbox, the timer around, so that it will get caught if the cable gets snagged for whatever reason. So it's just easier to just disconnect the winch completely when you're watering. Then I'll just hook the snap hook back onto it and move the timer when it's done. And that is that. The next one's open, so I'll just disconnect this one and move it along the channel to the next outlet in sequence, and it just keeps repeating itself.